Hello guys, welcome back again to P for Politics, my dear esteemed audience. Now today we are going to look at the political system. Remember, we're also in political system of Kenya, and we are in a democratic state. That means that we always have the ruling government and we have the opposition. Uh, but Kenyan politics is a bit different from other democrats in Africa. But why is this so? Remember, Kenya has always been having opposition since independence, since the de facto rule when we had only one party state. This was mainly brought by this particular guy called Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. I remember he formed many parties before before be, many parties before the introduction of multipartyism. Remember when Kenya came to power, there were two parties. We had the KANU and KADU. But upon forming government, KADU was dissolved to form KANU, which will remain the only ruling party. So Kenya was a de facto government, a one-party state. But remember, at that time when it was dissolved, Jaramogi Odinga was from they agreed to dissolve these things. So until when he came to differ with this one particular guy, the then president, President Kenyatta. So because they deferred, he said that he wrote even books, not yet Uhuru. He communicated saying that we are not yet past that democracy, that we are not all free. So he came to form many parties. We had like KPU, but these parties were somehow ditched, somehow removed because at the time the constitution said that the government or the party was one party state. Now we came. Remember, there's something called about change. Change is inevitable. So we had all these people, the Anyona, the Raila Odinga, Jaramogi Odinga. These people advocated for multipartyism. And it was also, we had Western influence that insisted that Kenya needed to have multipartyism. We also had influence from other African countries. But remember, this could not have been possible without prominent people who had power, who were very radical, who were very resilient, who were very determined to ensure that Kenya was not under dictatorship. It was not, but it was referred as dictatorship. So then the then President Moi, when this multipartyism came to pass in 1992, remember, this multipartyism was introduced, so there was some changes. We had one of the first parties which were Ford Kenya, and others followed. So we had changes in the constitution that said now the terms of president is going to be 10 years. We had opposition leaders. But remember, we have other countries which are democratic, for example, Tanzania. But the opposition is not that strong like in Kenya. So what makes Kenyan opposition leader strong? For me, number one is said is because of those people maybe who are maybe second in election, or we have this one particular guy called Raila Amolo Odinga. Raila Amolo Odinga has been one guy who has ensured that multipartyism or the Kenyan democracy has a good opposition. Remember, this thing is inherited from his father, who is referred to as father of opposition, due to the resistance that he gave both Kenyatta and Moi. Even remember, he was put to house arrest. We had all these people like Rubai, these people who are even detained. We have Anyona, we have Raila Amolo Odinga. So it is because of these people that we have a good Kenyan opposition system. Now the question of today is, we what made us to be confident enough about the Kenyan opposition system? It is because of the one who was in charge, Raila Amolo, not Raila Amolo Odinga, but Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, who gave Kenya a good opposition. But after him, remember, even they did conflict with his dad. So this meant that Jaramogi Oginga Odinga was leaving someone suitable for this position. The question of today is, will Kenya have a good opposition leader after Raila? Because today we are seeing changes. What about if he wakes up one day and says that, no, I don't want to deal with these things, I don't want to deal with politics, and he decides to truly keep quiet? What if he becomes the chairman of African Union? What impact will it have? What if he becomes committed with this thing that he will no longer be that picture of opposition that we see? Can we have a good opposition leader? Can we have someone who will have a say across the country? Someone who can keep governments in check? Remember, he has kept almost four governments in check. We had Moi, we had Kibaki, we had Uhuru Kenyatta, and we have Ruto. And none of them were able to silence him. Remember, like Tanzania, the opposition leader was there during Magufuli. He went away, he ran away. But in Kenya, this guy, no president has managed to make this guy run away. So this means he remains a threat to any government. So the government have to be in check. So these governments have actually come up with different ways of dealing with Raila Amolo Odinga. We had like Moi, he detained, but actually never succeeded. We had Kibaki, which remember Raila Amolo Odinga gave support to Kibaki. So the one who were keeping the government in check were the then who were losers, mostly Uhuru Kenyatta. The next one, who is when they separated, now when they conflicted, and Raila decided to be in opposition. So how did Kibaki deal with it? Remember, due to that disagreement, it led to the most violent election we have had in Kenya, which we all know was not good enough and will not like to be there. So we had this power sharing strategy with Kofi Annan, with also the others. Uhuru Kenyatta, we saw him what he did. We had the BBI. Now, at least these things made him to at least relax, to be less hostile, less radical in oversighting the government. For now, we have seen Ruto supporting Raila for this chairmanship. We also felt like the chairmanship affected the NADCO report, because one of the key issues like cost of living, and the other things were not really addressed. But he kept quiet. Is it because he wanted this support? Is it because he wanted financial support so that he can go and campaign for this, what we call the African Union chairmanship? Did that influence, or did that make him less aggressive in ensuring that the government was in check? So for me, I think after Raila, remember those, we don't have any specific voice or one voice. They're saying it is Kalonzo will be the head, but can people listen to Kalonzo? Can Kalonzo be that radical? Can Kalonzo be that aggressive? Can he have influence over the members of Azimio? We also saw he also gave an opportunity to Joho and Oparanya to be the heads of these people. Can Luos alone support another one from the tribe? Who will be the next kingpin? Or it still remains to be the kingpin to support? Will he be the kingpin yet, so that he'll unite and give support while he still is the chairmanship? So these are the things that we have to look, and we have to ensure that at least we ask the government, or we ask those who are leaders, who have influence, who have position, to do mentorship, so that we can protect our democracy, so that we can ensure that these governments are in check and they're doing what they're supposed to do. So thank you. Please share, comment, and subscribe. Let us meet next time.
Ministers
Remember
of
to
this
view the
government
previous videos,
wakisimama pale kwa bunge
comment so that
kuuliza
we
au
can
kujibu
know
maswali,
where to improve. Thank you.
wanasema
See you next
hatuwezi
time.
kufanya lolote kwa sababu we inherited empty coffers from the former government. Na bado hawa wenyewe ndio walikuwa mawaziri katika serikali hiyo ya jana. Ukweli uko wapi?